December was a whirlwind of activity. You think? But I did pick some cool pairings, pen and ink pairings to use last month. Hey there, it's Grace. Welcome back. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year too to each of you. Grateful to have you joining me for more Grace videos in this new year. So, I seem to always get the last ink report for the last month of the previous year. That was a lot to say. Out a bit late. And that's how it seems for me anyway. The thing is, y'all probably don't even recognize it, so it's probably not a thing. But anyway, this ink report is going to be short, lots to say, but at the same time, not a lot. So let's get on with it, shall we? Alright, so I started a new thing that I will show you later for each pairing. Let's start with my absolute favorite pen to write with in 2024. Although it didn't get the top pen award, it did get an award. But I absolutely love writing with this pen. This pen is the HONGDIAN M2 with a medium nib. Oh, look at this little baby. So cute, so cute. And I paired she with Tom Studio Rambling Rose. OMG, y'all. OMG. This pen, let's get to the page. Let's get to the page first. Here is the page. You know what? I think I'll put that down. 1 second. That's a lot of noise. We'll just put you here. Alrighty, that's much better. About the ink, yes, about the pairing, let's get to that. It was beautiful flow every single time, every time. Can I just say, it was just beautiful flow every time. Smooth writer. I actually wanted to use this pen over and over and over again, but being that I am a good pen mama, I gave the other pens in the lineup, the December currently inked lined up, their chance in the sun as well. But she knows she was my favorite last month. She knows this. She knows this. And she kept, Grace, pick me again. Don't worry about the others. Pick me again. And I had to just, stop. So that's what I had to do with her. Anyway, as I said, I wanted to use the pen over and over again, and you know what rating this pen is going to get. You know what's coming. This is the absolute first 10 of the year. Now, granted, it is the first 10 this year because I'm doing this in January, but it's it's a December ink report. So remember that. Don't confuse yourself. Alrighty. So the next pen in the lineup was my Fountain Pen Revolution Jaipur V2 with a Jaipur V2 with a ultra fine flex nib. That's what it had in here. Love this nib. So about the ink. The ink is not bad. Let's just put it that way. It's very wet. I paired it with the new Colorverse Kilonova. This is one of their ink color vent. I keep wanting to do that. Sorry, Diamine. This is one of their color vent colors. So this and this went together. And as you can see, this pen cap is filled with this ink. Look, it looks purple. I don't know that that's supposed to happen, y'all. This feed was a bit too flowy for this wet ink. This ink is very, very wet. And I think the combination of these two was not the best pairing. The surprise with this pen came because the first time I used this pen, I had so much fun with this flex nib. So much fun. I can't even remember the ink that I used. But anyway, I will look that up, and if I remember, I'll put it on the screen. I had so much fun with this nib, and this time, every single time I took the cap off. Now you can see I've practically written it dry. You can see there's no more ink in there, but you can see right there as well. Oops, you can see right there as well. It's wet. It leaked. Every time I took the cap off, it leaked all over my hands. I took it to a pen meetup and I said, be careful, the nib, the pen leaks a little bit. She took the cap off, wrote for it a few seconds, and her fingers were purple. It just effused ink. I was totally disappointed. I know it's a choice of this ink with this pen. I know it's a choice. And I think much more experimentation is needed because this is a Fountain Pen Revolution ebonite nib. And the ebonite nibs are meant to let the ink flow more easily with the flex nib, with the needs, I should say, of the flex nib. And this ink, it was just too much for the feed. I don't think it's the nib necessarily. I think it's too much for the feed itself. It bugs me, absolutely bugs me, that I cannot rate this pairing higher. Oh, I forgot to show you the pip sheet. I'll show you HONGDIAN in a minute. This is the new thing I've started, by the way, as well. So this is Colorverse. This Colorverse ink is just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Do you see that? Boop, 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 boop. Challenges with nib and leakage. Have to figure out how to figure that part out. Okay, I'm doing a new thing. And the new thing is I'm putting the ratings for 3 things at the bottom of each pairing note. The ink, the flow, and then the nib. All of them got a rating. And then I will combine that rating. I was gonna combine the rating and then do a mathematical thing, combine the rating, divide by 3. But the rating is a feeling rather than a mathematical calculation. Let's put it that way. Okay, the ink was a 7. I actually love this ink. In a different pen, I think this ink would be solid. The flow I gave a 1 because it regurgitated on itself. And the nib, I actually like the nib. The nib is that ultrafine flex nib. Beautiful flex. Love it. You can see some of that flexing happening here. You can see that. Look at that color, y'all. Look at that color. So the pairing, oh my gosh. It's sad to me that right out of the gate, not only do I have a 10, but I also have a 3. It just was not, I hate that rating with a pen and an ink I love gave it this, but it's the experience of the pairing that gives the rating. It's the total of all of them. So I will like to just go back and do the pip sheet for, what is it, HONGDIAN M2. This is, what did I write? One of the best pens in my collection. One of the best pens in my collection. Smooth writing, no nib problems. Ink is gorgeous in this pen. Excellent. Excellent pairing. You can see, I got it. 10s. It just 10s. Just 10s. Alrighty then. Let's go to my next pairing, which is another Fountain Pen Revolution. I thoroughly enjoyed this pen. This is the Fountain Pen Revolution Rialto blue turquoise, I think it's called. That might not be the name. I think it's blue turquoise. Has a medium 5.5 nib in it. It's a small, cute nib. This is actually a medium flex nib. I'm pretty sure this is a flex nib. Let me do. Yeah, this is a flex nib, which is way cool to write with. Let's start with telling you this pen was paired with this ink. This is WEARINGEUL Enki. Isn't that a divine little bit of, that's just gorgeous ink. Absolutely gorgeous ink. So let's start with the ink. Love the ink, love this blue. Let's get to the ink part. It was way too light. Oh my gosh. I've got to show you. I was so disappointed. I've got to show you. Now I've forgotten the page. I've got to show you how, when I wrote with it and the only time I wrote with it. There, can you even see it? That's the only time I wrote with that pen, because the ink was just way too light. Oh my gosh. This pen was really so cool. I wanted to like writing with it. I really wanted to like writing with it. I wanted to like writing with it because, what was I doing? Oh, look at how gorgeous that is over here. Look at that pinky purpley thing going on there. But the writing was only that color. You can barely see it on there. Oh my gosh, I wanted that pinky purpley to show up so much. Look, but this is basically all that showed up. Nothing. So, none of that. The rating got a 4.5. Because it wasn't the pen, it wasn't necessarily the ink, it was just the lightness of the ink. This is not an ink that I will be purchasing. My glasses need cleaning. I cannot see properly. Little smudgy. There you go. So the rating got a 4, and I want to show you the pip sheet. Even the pip sheet you can barely see. Usually the pip sheets, these pip sheets are printed on aerofoil paper. I love this. I love this because the ink shows up a little. Again, another way to showcase the ink. The ink shows up a little bit differently. You can actually see the writing here, but I don't use aerofoil paper or notebooks to write. I don't use them. So even though it showed up nicely here, it does not show up. This is, what is this? This is a Rhodia paper? Rhodia, I think it was a Rhodia. No, this is an Nemesen. Nemesen. I think it's the name of it. I think that's the name. Anyway, it didn't show up there. It shows up here on aerofoil, but I'm not going to write with one paper, so it needs to show up all across the board. The ink got a 5. The flow got a 4. And the flow was not about the shimmer that was in it. Actually, you can see some of the shimmer. Let me see if I can get the flow got a 4. The nib got a 6.5, but it was that's not an ink that I will go back to at all. I might use it in ink play, but for writing, nah, not a thing. Not a thing. No. All right, Lex pen is the next pen is my ASVINE P20 with a medium nib. Look at that gorgeousness. So freaking gorgeous. This pen, this was heaven. Now, y'all know how much yellow stumps me as a color, as an ink color. Y'all know how much. I found the ultimate regular use golden yellow in a new one. I just got this in. This is Colorverse Inkvent Go. Y'all will start charging me for saying Inkvent when I should say Colorvent. I know, 5 cents per time. Yeah, seriously. Colorverse, Colorvent, duh, Sunbeam. Look at that gorgeousness. Look at that gorgeous color that I can now write technically a yellow. It's a golden yellow. I think the base of it is still baby poop green, but that seems to be my go-to. That seems to be my go-to yellow. I did write, I can't show, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This is when I was playing with my word of the year. You can read the writing. Oh my gosh. So cool. Between this pairing and this pairing, all I wanted to do was write with these two. All I wanted to do was write with these. And it's not kind of like a thing that I wanted to write with orangey tangerine pens. Nope. It's the pen and the ink. That's all there is to it. Let's see what I wrote for on the pip sheet. What did the pip sheet say? Superb pairing. I tell you, I write these pip sheets at the end of the month, and then I put them away. I just put them away. And then when I actually record the ink report, I'm surprised by what I wrote. I gotta tell you. Okay, superb pairing. One of fave pens and easily a fave ink now. Had so much fun writing with this pairing. The ink, I put a 10. The flow was a 9, and the nib was a 10. Aww. So dang good. So you know what's coming. No, you probably don't know what's coming because it's not a 10, but it is way up there. That's a 9.5. That's just like, can I kiss you? Seriously, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? That was really good. Okay, the next pen is, this one is my JINHAO 80. This is the Lamy 2K wannabe, let's call it that. This I got in green. I gotta tell you, I got the green. I was disappointed by the green color. This is not the green color I was expecting. That's okay. I love this pen. Love this pen. The pairing though was just okay. And this is what I paired it with. So the Lamy 80 with an extra fine nib, and DIAMINE Merry and Bright. This is part, I can say it now, I can say it officially now. This is part of DIAMINE ink vent. Yeah, word belongs in this one. I love the green of this. Don't get me wrong, this was not a matchy thing. I just paired them together and noticed afterward that they were matching. The problem with this particular pairing was I didn't enjoy this extra fine nib. It has an extra fine nib, and look, it's a really gorgeous pen, beautiful. I love the shape of Lamy nibs. I do love the shape of them. Anyway, I did not enjoy this pairing as much. I think it's because the extra fine nib was a bit too fine for me in this pen. So that's not to say that I don't like extra fine nibs, because I do have this. This is my Pilot E95S. This is my favorite pen, and this is my everyday carry. I write with this every day. Every flippin' day I write with this pen. As you can hear, I had a thing come in, a text come in, and I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so you heard that ding dong. So this is an extra fine nib. Love write. I write with this every day. So it's not about an extra fine nib per se. It is this extra fine nib. Extra fine nibs for me, I need to find the ones that work for me. Some brands I can gravitate towards, and some I just need to differentiate between extra fine nibs, because we all know they're not the same. I think this ink needs a broader nib than this particular extra fine nib, and that's my taste. It just needs to be more. Yeah, it just needs to be more. That's okay. What did I have for what did I have for the writing? I had, this is the pip sheet for it. And see how it looks so totally different? I'm gonna put this up there. See how it looks, this is the same ink on Irreful and then on MD paper. Most of the ink showed up like this and it was like, I wish it would show up like this. To me, that's a difference. What did I have? Okay pairing, enjoyed the ink. Enjoyed the ink color, it did not shine in this pen. For the ink, I gave it a 7. For the flow, I gave it a 7. And for the nib, I gave it a 6. So not exactly the worst, pairing rating, but it wasn't for this pen nib. The nib is what brought that number down so much. I've written with this pen. Quite a few times since I received it, and I've enjoyed writing with it. It is this pen and certain inks, and right now the extra fine in that pen doesn't work for me. Alrighty, last pen for December currently inked is this pen, y'all. This is Esterbrook Estée's Golden Gratitude pen. I love this pen. 100% I love this pen. This pen has a broad nib in it. Whoop. I love that little step down. This pen has a broad nib in it, which is so gorgeous to write with. I have been writing with it ever since I got it, and literally, I don't think it's a month that I missed. But that's okay. I paired it with JINHAO Stormy Gray, 1670 Stormy Gray. And I love a gray. I'm not a fan necessarily of, I think this is my black ink, my go-to black ink. I love the charcoaliness nature of this ink, gorgeous ink. The thing about this ink is, I remember, I don't have a clue when I got this ink. It's only a sample. I have no idea if I ordered it or I received it from someone. So there's that. I've already loved this pen. I love the pen. I love the ink. These two were like a match made in heaven. If I had to give order of priority for pen usage, it was the HONGDIAN M2, the ASVINE, and the Esterbrook were like even. I reached for these two often. I wanted to reach for this one a lot. This pen had not one freaking issue at all so far. You know what? In the beginning, Grace was not a fan, or she did not know about Esterbrook's, the Estes. And I thought it was just like hoopla. You know, everybody gets an Estee, everybody has one. And I'm just not a person to follow the crowd. Well, I'm not rethinking that theory. I'm not going to follow any crowd. But this is my third, I think this is my third Esterbrook. Pretty sure. Yes, I have two others. I love an Esterbrook Estee pen. What? My God. My goodness. Okay, this pen, this rating got a 9. This, what did I write for this one? I wrote, look, isn't that gorgeousness? That's absolutely gorgeous. Very good pairing. Enjoyed ink in a broad nib. Oh yeah, did I say that it has a broad nib? It has a broad nib. I love this Esterbrook broad nib. This thing, come on, you gotta get out of your space. A broad nib in this pen. Oh, so good. Anyway, excellent pen and nib. That's what I wrote. The ink was an 8.5. I like it. It wasn't top, but it was certainly not middle or bottom. The flow was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That got a 9. And then the nib, the nib got a 10, y'all. The nib got a 10. That is just wow. I actually had fun with the majority of these pairings. Let's give you guys some front and centerness. I absolutely enjoyed writing with them. That fountain pen revolution nib issue, that's bugging me. I'm gonna have to figure that out. As I said, I didn't have an issue with it the first time. Maybe I need to be conscious that this particular pen with this nib, oh, that's another thing. I got a couple of extra nibs. I'm gonna switch out the nibs and see if that makes a difference. Maybe even with this ink. Anyway, I'm talking off the top of my head. Let's get back. Okay. I still like my JINHAO 80. As I said, I remember having a conversation with someone in my local pen group, and she actually got, this is why the idea for getting a lamy nib came to me. She got a lamy nib for her JINHAO, and another guy in the group said that's a bit much to get for a $10 pen to get a $40 or $50 nib. Yeah, but if I enjoy writing with dang pen, I'm going to do what I can to keep enjoying writing with the pen. So it's going to get a medium or broad lamy nib, and call that George. Anyway, so for this edition of currently ink report, not bad ratings. We had a couple of lows, but that's okay. Not everything has to be a positive, top of the line, everything is hunky-dory. This is just, to me, these low numbers are just data points, just information. I know exactly, I wrote about each one on the pip sheets. If you don't have pip sheets yet, you need to get you some. Link is always in the description box. But this was a most enjoyable currently inked. For currently inked for January, I'm doing an addition to something I started in August. Watch for that video next. All right, I'm out of here.